Alright y'all, so we gonna do this mini class on shampoo from start to finish. Shampoo blow dry, okay? So first thing is first, I said I wiped everything down, now we're about to drape her. Well first before we drape, let's pause. Like we have a mini consultation with the stylist, the client. So first you wanna ask her like what's her issues or concerns with her hair. So me and Louise, before you guys came in here, we asked her like what was some issues she was having, and she said she was having problems with moisture and what else?
Defining my curl pattern.
And curl pattern. So I'm new to Paul Mitchell and their products, so Louise is going to back me up when it comes to the product knowledge because some of the things I use is different from what you guys will be using here. Okay? So Louise, since you said moisture and defining her curls, what products and how would you curl that?
So like an easy one that's just gonna be right off the top of your head. Tea tree is gonna add that moisture. Tea tree is like pretty good for that. Like that I love tea tree. It's like a common one. It's really relaxing too. So when you're given that wash house experience, it's keeping them nice and calm. But my favorite, if it's not instant moisture that we're giving her, I love the Clean Beauty because you having a hydration in there, and there's also an anti-frizz that I love in there. So it's really based off of your preference, but this is why when you're shampooing your dogs or whatnot, you do want to experience and like tap into the different ones. You know, get your hands in and see what it is that you like. Because when you're using these shampoos and conditioners, you're setting that base and that foundation for that end result, right? And everything that is in here as a shampoo and a conditioner, there are products out there that complement it. So if you have somebody who's complaining about moisture, there's not only moisture, shampoo, and conditioner, you have a product that's also going to retain that moisture as well. So again, if I was going to pick one, I would lean towards that tea tree. We have the shampoo for curls right behind there. We have the hydration again in Clean Beauty. And then we have instant moisture right behind our friend right over here.
Do I between lavender and regular?
It's on your preference.
And
Lavender
also
mint
you want
is
to
normally where I
ask
would go.
your clients, I'm pretty sure most, anyway, even if you have natural products or organic products, I still would suggest that you also ask, are you allergic to anything? Like, always ask, hey, are you allergic to anything? Nowadays, they don't make anything with peanuts and stuff, thankfully. So, but still always ask.
If you do have that sensitive client or a client who again is like vegan and they don't use a lot of stuff, that vegan line is your go-to. That Clean Beauty vegan line, it smells incredible, but it works really, really well, and it's aiding to what it is that they're requesting.
So,
I was gonna say, I want to add something too. Like to determine what type of products you're gonna use, you always want to do like the fabric test. That way you're testing the condition of their hair. That you'll test for the elasticity, the porosity, and the texture. How you test the elasticity, you can take one strand and then you'll just like ribbon it in your nail, like if you were doing like a ribbon for a gift, and then once you ribbon that piece of hair, the hair should curl up, and then you'll stretch it back out, and if it returns back to its normal state, then they have good elasticity. So that would mean that they wouldn't need any, like, they have good protein, basically. That's what you're testing.
want to give an example? Want to tell me?
Who, me? Do I want to give an example? Well, I have nails on, so I can't really test
Okay, so
like
you
the
would take
elasticity
it-
that well. And then also
Take a strand
to test how.
and you would take it like this.
Mhm.
I'm trying to grip it myself. But yeah. No, girl, you got enough to grip. But you would take a strand, and then if it doesn't break off or anything.
Right. So if you test elasticity, if you ribbon it in your finger and it returns back to that natural state, it's like curls up really, really tight. That's a 1 to have good great elasticity. So if it then turns like if you ribbon it and then it stretches like halfway, that's a 2. They have okay elasticity. So if you ribbon it and it stays straight, it doesn't return back to its natural state, and it breaks off and snaps, that means their hair is weak and they don't have any protein and poor elasticity.
And that's a good thing to do before you do any color. So
Yes, so-
if you are doing any chemicals or anything like that, that's what you really, really want to make sure you remember that step.
Because you don't want to put any chemicals on somebody's hair and they have dry, damaged hair. And then as soon as you put that whitener or that relaxer or that perm on there, the hair is going to snap off and melt. So this way you'll know how strong their hair is and how much it'll hold that product. Well, if it will hold that product. So another thing is testing the what did I say? Porosity, right? So you want to take that strand of hair, or let me go get a beaker.
While she's doing that, I'm gonna drape. Okay, so I have neck strips, towel. It's really up to you. And also, when you get the state board, they're more specific on what drapes you'll do, and we'll get into that further along. But for right now, somebody told me to think about what neck strips is wingworm. I ain't never thought about that a day in my life until she told me one time she got a client that had wingworm from the capes and the drapes and things like that. Cause rubbing exactly. So ever since then, y'all, it's been in my brain. Neck strip, cause I don't know where. Okay, so this is another thing to be safe and keep your clients, keep everybody clean as possible.
So to test the porosity of the hair, to see how much moisture, if the hair is dry, you want to take this strand of hair or any strand, and then put it in that water. And if it floats on top, they have high elasticity, which means that the cuticle is tight, sealed, no product or moisture or anything can get through. So that's a 1. And then if it floats in the middle, it's a 2. The porosity is okay. I mean, it's normal. But if it floats to the bottom, that means it's dry. The hair is soaking up all that moisture. It's thirsty, and you want to give them some type of moisturizer treatment or cater their shampoo service to whatever the hair condition their hair is in. But so that's a good way to pick out your products.
Thank you. Yes. So make sure you do that. I drape her like this. Depending on the person, if you're trying to save towels and things like this, if you trust yourself to be able to use the same towel to dry her, because this is an experience. This is your first time touching your client and actually being over them. And no matter if you mess up their hair, they press the curl and they press the curls, frizz up afterwards. If you started with a good shampoo and you relax this person, they'll come back to you just because you washed their hair good. Because 9 times out of 10 people don't like washing their own hair. Especially nowadays, everybody wants you to come shampoo. So if you give a good shampoo, they're going to like you and come back for sure, okay? So you can drape them like this, or you can like fold the towel like a napkin and put it around your neck. Whatever, it's up to you, how you feel comfortable. So I'm going to have you come on back. First, we make sure this back part is behind the chair with the client. Come on back with me. You want to guide them to the bowl, make sure they're comfortable this whole time. You want to ask them questions throughout the service. Oh, wait, we gonna have to scoot this back on. My strip cover. There we go. A little bit. Are you comfortable? So I was constantly asking her, asking her, is this too tight? Are you comfortable? Because this is not about me. This is about making sure she's comfortable and everything in this bowl. Okay. So we get the water together. So I'm gonna use the tea tree and the hydration shampoo. So I'm gonna do 1 and 1, and then the conditioner for the tea tree. Make sure it's not too hot, too cold, whatever. Alright. How does the water feel? A little cold. A little cold. I always ask because sometimes I think the water is comfortable and it might be too hot, or the other way around. So take it. Now I know it's a bad habit. One of the people that I saw, they told me like not to lean the nozzle onto their head. But if you sanitize and stuff, I mean, teach us on. You know what I'm saying? But it's for me to help make sure I don't splash them all in their face. Because if your client's coming in, she got makeup on or something like that, you don't want her to leave out and her foundation is all the way to her eyebrows, and and it's not sitting right. So I'm gliding it across their head. And you want to thoroughly make sure that you saturate the hair with water. Hold their ears. Some people, they don't like getting water in their ears. You have cotton or something put in their ears, or just make sure you have a towel on the side and you like blot inside their ears and stuff like that. Make them feel like you care about them not getting wet and all that other stuff. Make sure you get the back as well. because we have a tendency to tend to the side that's closest to us, well, farthest from us, and we forget about this side. Especially with products, you want to make sure you rinse it all the way out. Like, when you know the product is completely out is when you don't see any bubbles or suds inside the water. The water will be completely clear. That's even when you're rinsing them just like now. You can tell, like, when I first started rinsing, it was like foggy. Now it's clearing up because I rinsed most of the residue or whatever was coming in her hair when she walked in. So I'm gonna start with the shampoo. It's thoroughly wet. I'm gonna take a dime size, like a little small size, like this. Less is more, depending on the person's texture. Because some people, they will have some type of hair that if they get relaxer and stuff, it will soak up product. So you gotta be a little more heavier, but not everybody. I always take a rub across and then go in the back like this. And then you also can tell, sometimes everybody's not going to get clean off one or two lathers. If you don't see it's lathering up right or it's not getting the clean like you want to, do it again, You want to make sure their hair is clean because this is also your canvas. If it's got product and buildup from the last thing they did, your finished result is going to look like that. It's going to look dirty, dingy, like it's going to have flakes. It's not going to feel at its best potential because it's still got leftover residue that we didn't get on.
So the best thing I would say is to clarify. You can do shampoo 1 or maybe shampoo 2. It depends on how much dirt and buildup they have, and then go in with the shampoo you're using to cater their service.
Absolutely.
Can you lift shampoo 1 and 2 over there, please?
Yeah. So everybody's shampoo is going to be different.
Yep.
So eventually you're going to be a product junkie because it's like deodorant too. And you might use this same product on this client every time she come in, and it might stop working. You're going to have to switch it up. You're going to have to do different things for different people. Because it ain't leather with oil free, re-wet it. When you start using your own products and doing your own stuff, you gonna want to be privileged and use your downside. So I hear you when you start paying.
Water is okay.
So this would be a question, like, this would be the learning experience of why is her hair not taking that product?
What do you think, Krista? What do you think?
Well, to me, it sounds like she has low porosity. Her cuticle is closed. That product is not able to penetrate through her hair to even get us up.
So what would you do to pre-treat the hair first?
I would clarify it, get all that the product out first.
Gotcha.
Give me a clarifying.
Clarifying
You want
to
the one or
open
two?
Well, the one
The one down. Okay, you
The
get it.
clarifying shampoo is on
Thank you.
the pH,
Open your
higher on
eyes.
the pH scale, so it's a little bit more intense, yeah. The word I think I was looking for, aggressive, yeah. So then
We're
once you do
stripping
that,
the hair. Yeah.
yep, and then go in with the. So yeah, I would say she has low porosity.
She's a natural. She wears her hair mostly natural, so it kind of makes sense.
So that's probably why her natural curl pattern isn't forming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, this all makes sense.
Because curly hair needs a lot more moisture.
Gotcha.
Okay, see how I love it this time? So, in the front part of the head, this is the most delicate area. So you don't want to be like in this area. You want to go, you can be a little rough, but you don't have to be so rough that you damaging the hair follicle. And then you ask your client, are you tender-headed? Do you want like a more frivolous shampoo? Like, do you want me to be more rough? Do you want me to be gentle? Like, where's the areas that's been bothering you and itching in your head? Things like this. So ask them, where's itching? Like, do you have any spots that's itching or bothering you? I always start in the front like this. Then I go in the middle like this with my fingers. I make sure I get behind the ears. And when you go and become a shampoo assistant and stuff, if you ever go and assist, you'll get your tips off of this. If you make sure they don't get wet and you ask them questions, because they're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you. They're going back and tell the stylist like, oh, well, she missed this spot. Oh, well, they're not going to tell you. So you have to make sure you ask and you figure out how to make this the best experience for them. And then always make sure you get the side closest to you, because that used to be my problem. I used to go and blow dry and stuff and be like, why is it this pocket of flakes or something like that? That's because, I didn't spend as much time. I was too busy over here, not going over here. So you want to make sure both your hands is moving in the same direction in every spot of their head. You touching every spot. And then some people got a lower hair neckline, so you got to make sure you lift up the head a little bit and get under there. And then go like gently guide them back. Don't just be lifting up people's head, dropping it, and all that stuff. Then you rinse it. So I always do like the first coat shampoo, then I do one, and then if you feel like the hair didn't get clean enough, then you will do another one. But it's really up to you and how you fix the hair feel from that shampoo. So we did a hydrating, we did that tea tree. We did the clarifying, and then we did this tea tree. We did said that didn't really do anything. So we're gonna use this hydrating one on her, and make sure her hair is not itching or anything like that. And then we're gonna move on to the conditioner. Any questions so far? No.
Also, make sure you guys thoroughly rinse out your client's hair. Because if her hair is more on the shorter side, but if her hair was like Jasmine's length, you want to lift up that hair and apply that water there too. Because there's nothing worse than going back, blow drying, you got suds and, like she said, flakes and other stuff. So make sure
Or
thoroughly rinse.
You don't want to have color
hair,
left,
especially your clients with thick hair. I got super thick hair. I like my hair to be washed 3 times. I don't care. 3 times I'll do a clarifying, do a tea tree, and then I'll mix like a hydrate or repair, or like you can mix shampoos, you can mix conditioners. Like you don't have to just stick to one line or just stick to one shampoo. Use different shampoos that's gonna give you the results that you need to see or that you want to get.
I say treat that client like you would. Like when I go to Subway, I want you to make my sandwich like how you want your sandwich made.
Right.
If you want somebody to shampoo your hair, do it how you want your hair shampooed. You want corner to corner touched and clean and catered to. Just like a pedicure or anything else. And even like for the people that do nails and manicuring, when you touching your client and their hands, be aware of how you let go of that person's hand and stuff like that, because you can send that person into shock. You also ask clients too before you start massaging them and things like that, if you have any health issues, or like just in case you massage them or something, they become too relaxed and they go into shock or something or anything, and you had their head 1 minute and you just dropped it and go do this. You're supposed to guide them back down because they're at a relaxed state at this point. So their body is relaxed. So so you just make sure you guide their hands down, or like pull your finger off of their finger. Little things to warn them, like, hey, I'm about to guide you down, we're about to do this, or tell them what you're about to do next. Okay, let me rinse this out.
How your head feel?
Yeah, how you feeling? She ain't saying not a word, she quiet.
Her eyes red.
She over here relaxed. And you always make sure you lift up their head and just guide that water down by their neck area to make sure all the product, because everything you rinse from the hairline is going down to the bottom of the neck.
Just be mindful, like these are other people, so you guys have to be careful how you handle people. It's okay to be stern, but don't be too aggressive. Like this is somebody's crown, so treat them with how you want to show kids to be treated with.
So you take it to dry somebody, you don't want them to just get up and water dripping and flying everywhere. You take the time to wipe around their hairline before they get up, get in their ears, because water behind their ears, hairline, you like, okay, we're about to get up, guide them up, especially if they older or something, like the sides. You take the towel block like this. Now, some people, they might want to ask them, do you want to sit up while I put your conditioner, you want to stay leaning back, it's up to them. But for this purpose, I'm having to sit up. So the reason I dried it a little bit before I put the conditioner is because I want the hair to be dry to put the product on. Because if it's still wet, I feel like it's still wasting the product because it's not getting on the hair. because it's so wet. I'm gonna use the hydration shampoo since this one wasn't her friend, you know. So I'm gonna use that other one. So you just take it and massage it a little bit and make sure it gets all in the hair. Start up in the hairline. Go back here in the nape. And then I don't know who uses those little shampoo brushes and stuff like that, but I live by that when I do people's hair. It depends on them and how their hair tangled. If you notice, like she said, she has low porosity, so you wouldn't want to do something that is too harsh on the hair. Or you could just take your fingers and comb through it like this. It's up to you. But you just want to make sure you get this product in. And then some people, they want you to use the balls of your fingers because that's what you're supposed to do. But you might have some clients be like, girl, if you don't use your nails, I mean, it's up to you. But just like, don't dig to where it's going to leave like some scratches or something like that. Don't like dig in their scalp. But get in there if they want to. It just depends on the client and what you feel comfortable doing. All right, babe, we're going to come on back. Make sure this is behind you.
Do you like the cocktail, like your shampoo and conditioner?
Sometimes you will have to. So that's what I did with her. This, sorry. Yep. Especially when you do a color. Some people use 5-in-1 conditioners. You have to use neutralizers, and then something else to put the, whatever you took out. They came out for that relaxer, whatever you did on their hair. You gotta put it back. Alright, so this water is gonna be cool. The reason we do cool rinses is like the same reason you would do it for your face. To close back up the pores and trap the moisture and gives the hair a shine. If you rinse and color out, I always say rinse the color out in not hot water, like cool warm water, you know? And I also color removes color. So if you have color left in your bowl and there's color around their hair and stuff like that, when you're coloring them, apply some of that old color on there and wipe it off. It color removes itself.
Right.
Okay. I start at the ear, go around to the other ear. I know it'll be cold, but eventually it starts feeling good. Go to the middle of the head. Take my fingers and make sure it's out. Then I get to the back. Make sure I get all out. And I'm looking in the water to make sure all the product and stuff is coming out. Like if you look at the water now, it's bubbles and suds and stuff, but I'll know it's all out because there won't be any more coming out. The water will become clear. And then you have some clients that be lifting up and stuff like that, and just be like, it's okay, just relax, you know. I don't need you to like lift your own head up because then you'll get wet that way. You know, if you will get wet, they'll get wet. Okay. So now that I cool rinse. Now since she's natural, we're not gonna blow dry her, but after I shampoo and blow, before I blow dry anybody, I find some type of moisture or whatever to put in their hair before I blow dry it. The reason you blow dry, you put the moisture on, because people are like, oh, I put moisturizer on my hair before after I blow dried it. You're supposed to put it on while it's wet, because your cuticle and stuff is still somewhat open. So you can put it on there, and when you blow dry it, actually went inside the hair. It's not actually sitting on top. If you do it while it's already dry, the product is sitting on top of the hair, so it's not doing anything for it. Yeah, we just dry around her border.
So even though you're not about to add the moisture because you're not blow drying her,
I'm still gonna put something on it
okay.
before she go out. You know, give her something because when it's gonna naturally air dry in its natural state, so it's still gonna do what it's supposed to do. Some people might want to be diffused or whatever because they got curly hair. It's all up to that person. All right, babe, you can sit up. How was your shampoo? Good?
I'm gonna fall asleep.
See? A lot of people do fall asleep because we are in their head. So they're quick to start talking and they're quick to start nodding. So, yeah. Any questions? We can go find a product. I need Louise to help us find a product that we can put in your hair. But you just take it and massage it in like you did with your conditioner. And then comb it through. And then you will start blow drying however you feel. So, yeah. Maybe next time we can do some blow drying. Did that help?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.